Crazy one. Today we're going to break down why Doc is, in fact, innocent with some very simple logic and address some concerns I got in my last video in the comments. Alright. First, you gotta remember this. This is not some fresh accusation. This is not something that happened last week, last month, or even early this year. This happened 4 years ago. So the idea there's no evidence is not true because we have evidence. We don't have all the specifics of what happened, but we have evidence of how the courts ruled on this. Because Amazon paid out money. Now, Amazon owns Twitch. Twitch was the litigant, so I'm going to refer to them as Amazon, because really it would have probably been Big Daddy Amazon's money, one way or the other, fighting this. Let us look at the two sides of this. On one side, you have Cody with no evidence, and two anonymous sources who are now not anonymous if Doc is to be believed, which is an important detail to note, as it implies that somehow Doc got the information, and the most likely way he got that was from his lawyers talking to these outlets, and these outlets trying to avoid being sued for defamation, giving up who the two anonymous sources were to prove that they did not just make this information up. And why would they do that? Well, it would be because there's a really good chance Doc could prevail in upcoming lawsuits, and they're trying to save their own hides. So that's this side. With no evidence, they claim that Doc sexted a minor. Not talked to, because a lot of people are transferring that to talk to inappropriately or just talk to. Sexted a minor was the accusations. As I said, this happened 4 years ago and played out in the court. We have the ending. Did Doc go to prison? Did Amazon not have to pay him money? Because if Cody's telling the truth, that is what would have happened. Doc would have been found guilty of sexting a minor. I don't know how severe the punishment would be underneath the jurisdiction of Doc and the individual he was talking to, but it would have given him a record, and Amazon could have used that to say, hey, he violated our morality clause or decency clause or whatever clause they had in their governing Doc's behavior in the contract, and not had to pay him out millions. So if Cody's telling the truth, that's what would happen. We would have seen that ending. That's not what we saw happen. Doc claims wasn't a minor, didn't sext, it only approached like adult jokes. Just some inappropriate jokes that might have been kind of inappropriate, never directly inappropriate. And another source said he stopped talking to this person the moment he learned they were 17. Doc has not confirmed that fact, so I cannot confirm it either. But let's assume Doc's telling the truth. What would have happened? Well, he would have been cleared in an internal investigation. He would have been cleared in an external investigation. And Amazon/Twitch would have had to pay out millions of dollars in damages. Okay. What happened 4 years ago? We don't know for sure, but we do know both sides admitted no wrongdoing in a public statement, and Amazon paid Doc out. It doesn't require Sherlock Holmes to figure out which of these two statements is true, because only one outcome has occurred, and both necessitate a different outcome if they are to believe. Doc's is backed by the outcome that happened. Cody's is backed by less than nothing. When you take into consideration that Amazon paid out Doc, that's anti-evidence against Cody's claims. Because either A, he outright lied, so Amazon would have had no standing to not pay out Doc, or B, Amazon knowingly and openly helped cover up a crime, which Amazon is not going to do just so they could pay out millions. And yes, I use that as an example of how absurd the belief that Doc is guilty is, because that is what is necessitated by the belief that Amazon would willingly give him money. Now that we've presented why Doc is innocent based on the preponderance of the evidence, i.e. the conclusion of the events that happened 4 years ago, I'm going to address 2 points I saw in the comments. First, you're just doing this for views. To which I have to say, dear listeners, dear viewers, no shit. I'm a content creator. I didn't sit down, record for an hour, edit my recording to, fix where I screwed up, stammered, all that. I didn't spend time making a thumbnail. I didn't spend time uploading, writing a description, and working on my hashtags for no reason. Of course I want views. I'm a content creator. That's not a revelation, and nor is it a bad thing. Now, am I going to lie to you guys for views? No. Because I'll be honest, if it comes down to that, I'll just go cover something else. And as I said in my last video, I really was hoping it wasn't going to come down to the point where I was going to have to make a video going like, hey guys, turned out Doc was guilty. I misjudged the situation. Because I do not like it when I'm wrong like that. But fortunately, that did not transpire. But to accuse me of just wanting views is, I don't know what to say. Well, obviously I do because I made a video on this. That's not the insult you think it is. You're on YouTube in the comment section. Okay, you can't see it, but I'm giving the really look. Like, really? Really? You think you got a point there? Okay. Now, more sensibly, some are saying that Doc's a bad person. And to that, I don't really have an opinion. I haven't really evaluated Doc as a person. I don't know him on a personal level. I have not reviewed the sum total of his actions, inactions, and behaviors. I do have heard he cheated on his wife, and while I disagree with cheating on your significant other, if you're not happy, just leave. Get a divorce. Now, for men, that is a considerably more FU proposition, given how biased the courts are. Still, you got married. You put the government's loaded gun to the back of your head, and you said, it'll be fine. Do the right thing. Honor your vows and commitments. Because here's the best part of life. If you don't, we're not in the 60s, 50s, or 40s anymore. You don't have to get married. So while I can honestly say I don't agree with the fact he cheated, him being a horrible person, which I'm not saying he is, but I'm just devil's advocate, you're right, does not have a bearing on whether or not he sexted a minor. If you truly believe he's a horrible person, take him down on the things that you know he's done. Because there's some good points to be made there. Like, hey, do you want kids idolizing a man who cheated on his wife? That's a very valid point. Because some people's principles say, like, hey, no, there's no path to redemption there. There's no excusing this behavior, and I don't want my kids looking up to a man who did this. Because, in a way, it glorifies it. No, I'm not taking that stance. I'm just explaining the thought process. And because it glorifies it, or at least normalizes it, you don't want your kids associated with that, and that's your right. And I'm not going to tell you that's a bad position to hold. I'm not really going to hop on that position because him cheating on his wife, that's between him and his wife. And it doesn't really impact the content he makes. And I really don't watch streamers, but I have seen Doc's shorts, and I've rather enjoyed his shorts, especially the one from Elden Ring where he's like, oh, this boss was easy. Oh, easy win, guys. And then he met the final phase of the game. And got his ass wrecked. Him cheating on his wife did not impact my enjoyment of that. And it's not like Doc's out there saying, like, hey, cheat on your spouse. He made a bad decision or a set of bad decisions, and him and his wife will work through it. So, I'll be honest, I really don't care. It doesn't impact me. I don't feel like I have to have an opinion on this, so I really don't. Beyond don't cheat. That's basically all I have to say on that. But if you want to say like, hey, Doc's a bad person, I'm not going to remove your comments. If you want to say that down in the comment section, go ahead. That's your prerogative. You know, there's been plenty of comments that I straight up could have removed, and I straight up haven't. And as time goes on, what I'm telling you is going to be more vindicated. Now, I'm not saying, hey, listen and believe right now, but just weigh the evidence as I've laid it out to you and think about it. And it's probably going to take like 2, 3, maybe even 4 years for this all to play out. But in a few years, this will have played out, and you can look back and you can see if I was telling the truth or if I was correct in my presumptions and analysis. You know? Bookmark the video. So, hey, like 5 years, like whenever the court case is resolved, you can come back and be like, Kevin, you are so full of it. I'm like, thanks, person, coming back on a video from 4 years ago. It's good to see you again. Yeah, no problem, Kevin. But really, guys, have fun. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.